Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Red Donkey Projections. I'm Eric, and we got Lucas as always.
Hey everyone.
Today is August 17th, 2021, and today we're going to be talking about Adam Laxalt, and specifically, we're going to be talking about his entrance into the 2022 Nevada Senate race. We're going to talk about who this guy is. We're going to talk about his impact of the actual, his impact on the Nevada race, and then we're going to talk about, the Nevada Senate race as a whole and kind of dive into the demographics of Nevada, how it usually votes, and see if he's going to make a difference.
With that being said, let's get right into it. Let's start with the background on the state of Nevada. In 2020, Joe Biden narrowly carried the state by around 2.4 points. This was actually closer than what we anticipated. We expect him to carry it about, like 5 or 6 points. So, we overshot that one. But I think we underestimated perhaps Trump's performance in the bigger cities where we did see Joe Biden lag behind compared to 2016, or slightly behind in some of these counties. But obviously, Trump did a very strong strengths in the rural areas. So in general, Nevada has only two big Democratic counties: Washoe County, which has Reno, and Clark County, which has Las Vegas. And these two counties are where the bulk of the votes are. The rest of Nevada is very, very solidly Republican, very, very rural. Now, I think one of the theories for why Joe Biden won by a lesser margin than what people expected was because some people might have attributed the lockdown to the Democratic Party, especially in a big tourist attraction city like Las Vegas. So as a result, he might have fared a little bit poorer in the state.
So let's take a look about Adam Laxalt and who this guy is. So he is part of the Republican Party. He is more of a conservative Republican, and he hasn't been too shy about aligning himself with Donald Trump. So he served in the Navy. He was the Attorney General of Nevada at some point. He announced his candidacy in January of 2014. And then he also ran for governor in 2018, and he did lose to Steve Sisolak. So he's, attempted to run for a lot of Nevada state, elections. So he has that sort of experience. But, what may turn off some, moderate Republicans of Nevada, which do make up a good chunk of that area, is his involvement in Donald Trump's 2020 campaign, and specifically his claims that there was voter fraud at the end of the elections, which, of course, all outlets and all credible organizations say is false. So, but he did continue to claim that there was fraud, and he did, he was basically an echo chamber of Donald Trump, who also was pushing false claims. So, as I said earlier, that does turn off moderate, if not even some more conservative Nevada voters who do know that this is false. And if he does continue to push this in his Senate race, and if he continues to be this extreme about issues like he was with Donald Trump's 2020 campaign, it may not do that good to him. But we'll see how he continues to mobilize the vote.
And his opponent is Catherine Cortez Masto, who's the current senator. She does have an incumbency advantage. She is, I believe, the first Latina representing the Senate from Nevada. And she was considered for Joe Biden's vice president, but she decided to withdraw from the vetting process. I think she isn't really as well known as maybe the other senators are. She's more of she's not too popular, but she's not too unpopular. She does have a pretty good chance of winning, I would say. I think she is pretty well known around the state, however, although maybe not nationally. And she does tend to vote with the Democratic Party. So now let's take a look at the election results from 2018, where Adam Laxalt ran against Steve Sisolak. So I think a lot of Republicans are overhyping Adam Laxalt's chances at winning the state. I think we've always maintained that the only Republican that we really see winning in Nevada is former Governor Brian Sandoval, because he does have very big crossover appeal. He won re-election by like 70% in 2014 and won the election a lot in 2010 as well. The problem with Adam Laxalt is he kind of lacks that crossover appeal, especially with his recent pro-Trump views. In addition, Democrats can capitalize on this, his connections to Donald Trump. I think I remember seeing the new ad that Masto released today, where she kind of, talked about how he aligned himself deeply with Trump, which could end up turning off probably some suburban voters in the state. So as you can see here, Adam Laxalt lost to Steve Sisolak, which shows he's not some electoral juggernaut that can win every single election that he runs in. But I will note that he did run slightly ahead of Dean Heller, but nevertheless, it was still a loss. So now I'll toss over to Eric now for our final prediction.
So, as Lucas explained, Adam Laxalt will not be making any drastic influence in the Nevada Senate race. And additionally, Catherine Cortez Masto is an incumbent, and she is generally, popular, and she hasn't done anything, unacceptable. So, the people of Nevada are, generally fine with her. So, especially considering who we have up, comparing Adam Laxalt versus Cortez Masto, if he were to be the nominee, Nevada's pretty, Democratic state, considering that for the past recent elections, it has always been going in the Democratic, to the Democratic side. So we're probably going to give it a lean Democratic margin. That makes the most sense. And it's probably going to go around the same amount of points as Biden took it in 2020, 2.4, maybe a bit more this time, considering who we're dealing with. So around 3 to 3.5 points makes sense. But, as always, we will update all of you guys as new information comes in. Once again, we are still quite early in the 2022 election campaign cycle, so we will see what we have to deal with.
And with that being said, that is the end of video for today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this episode, please hit like button. If you like our content, please subscribe. And we'll see you in our next episode tomorrow.
See ya.